What a great morning. This is really just a great morning for all of us here present at Loyola Blakefield. On behalf of the Loyola Blakefield Alumni Association and its Board of Governors, welcome to the 2018 Kelley Medal Breakfast, honoring Jesuit Father Joseph Michini of the class of 1959. This event is always the highlight of the year for our Alumni Association. A day when we come together to celebrate and thank one of our own and hold as an example for the men of the graduating class what we hope for every Don: a life of service, faith, humility, and integrity. Father Joe is that example, not only for the men of the class of 2018, but also for all Dons. A special welcome this morning to the Board of Trustees, President Anthony Day, members of his leadership team, and faculty and staff. Welcome, too, to the members of the class of 1959 who have gathered here today to celebrate with their classmate, Father Joe. To the members of the class of 59, if you are here, please stand and be acknowledged. Thank you. And welcome also to the former Kelley Medal recipients who are with us today. Please stand and be acknowledged. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And to the men of the class of 2018, welcome to you. You are here because this also is your day, a day meant for the senior class. As we celebrate Father Joe, we also celebrate you, the seniors, the class of 2018. A particular thank you goes out to the alumni Dons who nominated Father Joe for the Kelley Medal. We have heard you and we have agreed. Father Joe is well deserving of this honor. And welcome to our honoree, Father Joe, and to all his friends who are with him here today. Thank you all for being here. The Loyola Blakefield Alumni Association is the most active high school alumni association in Baltimore, representing 10,000 living alumni. We foster fellowship among alumni and serve as ambassadors for Loyola in our communities. Throughout the year, we program a variety of events such as homecoming, Taste of Blakefield, professional networking evenings, and sports tournaments. All monies raised from those events support our 2 alumni scholarships. And because we are grounded in Jesuit tradition of faith doing justice, the Alumni Association is active in Ignatian service in Baltimore and beyond. We very much care for the poor and the marginalized. If you happen to move one day to another city, the Alumni Association is actively growing its satellite chapters. Just this year, we've formed alumni chapters in New York, Boston, and DC. To the men of the class of 2018, know that you will forever be a part of the Alumni Association wherever you go. Whether near or far, we invite you to maintain your Loyola connections and build new ones. If you have walked across the hollow and received a Loyola diploma, your Alumni Association is your home, and we cannot wait for you to join us. As stated in the bylaws of the Loyola Blakefield Alumni Association, named in honor of Reverend Joseph Kelley, S.J., the Kelley Medal recognizes his dedication and commitment to educating Loyola students for nearly 40 years. The Kelley Medal is regarded as the highest form of recognition given to a Loyola alumnus. It recognizes an alumnus who is outstanding by reason of distinction gained in business, profession, or by his outstanding participation in ecclesiastical or civic affairs. In addition, the alumnus is recognized for how his life serves as a role model and example to students and graduates of Loyola. The medal was first presented in 1962 and continues today with the presentation to Father Michini of the class of 1959. Father Joe was raised in Northeast Baltimore and attended St. Dominic's School on Harford Road. While here at Loyola, Father Joe was involved in yearbook, newspaper, dramatics, the art club, intramurals, and served as a class officer and promoter of the League of the Sacred Heart. After graduating from Blakefield in 1959, he entered the Jesuits. His novitiate and college years were spent at the novitiate of St. Isaac Jogues in Warnersville, Pennsylvania. Father Joe then transferred to Fordham University, where he received a master's in English. He was next missioned to Gonzaga College High School in Washington, D.C., where he served as a Jesuit scholastic teaching English. After a stint away from the classroom, Father Joe continued formation, this time at Georgetown University. After completion of his Master's of Divinity Studies at the Weston Jesuit School of Theology in Cambridge, Massachusetts, Father Joe was ordained to the priesthood. His first assignment took him back to Georgetown, where he lived on campus with students and assisted at Holy Trinity Parish, just blocks off campus. He was then missioned to St. Joseph's Preparatory School in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where he again taught English and served as director of campus ministry. And in 2001, Father Joe finally came home, back to Blakefield, serving as director of campus ministry and then to his current role as school chaplain. Father Joe is well known for being Loyola's unofficial photographer, leading Kairos retreats, and weekly scripture study for staff. As part of the Kelley Medal nomination process, Loyola alumni submit letters of recommendation on behalf of the nominee. In his letter, Michael Thomas, who is with us today, wrote, "When I was in school, I saw Father Joe every morning in the hallway between Wheeler and Burke Hall. His infectious smile and laughter always cheered me up, no matter what." Drew Hops said, "He has a way of making your individual relationship feel special, despite having countless relationships that were equally as close. The positive atmosphere that he fosters is the culture of Loyola Blakefield." And former Kelley Medal recipient John Wheatonkamp, who is with us today, also wrote, "Father Joe is a genuine example of one who appreciates the gifts given him, a man of gratitude. He truly relies for his ultimate strength on God, a man of humility. He tries to be his best at all times, a man of integrity." So, we all know Father Joe would rather be behind the camera right now and not in front of it. But today is Father Joe's day. Ladies and gentlemen, friends of Loyola, and men of the class of 2018, on behalf of the Loyola Blakefield Alumni Association, I am honored to present to you our 2018 Kelley Medal recipient, the Reverend Joseph Michini, S.J.
am someone who's behind the scenes a lot. And so this is a unique opportunity for me to thank so many people, the administration of our school, you alumni, the faculty this year, and also the seniors that I've been spending this year with. Not to mention the 40 years before that I've been in high school, mostly high school teaching. I have a few thoughts. Around 1552, St. Ignatius had about 15 schools. He started them in 1548, with the first one in Messina, Sicily. So 4 years later, they're up to about 15 or 20 schools. So he was hearing rumblings from the men who were teaching. So he sent one of his assistants around to the 20 schools to get an idea of what's going on. So I've read this to many people, probably who are here, but I always love it. This is one of the things that the man said. It is a most tedious, troublesome, and anxious task to drive, teach, and control a mob of boys, who by nature are giddy, restless, garrulous, and lazy creatures. Sorry, fellas. Class of 18, this is not you. So that not even their parents can restrain them at home. The consequence is that our young men, the Jesuits, in instructing them, lead a very hard life, fritter away their strength, and lose their health. Nor is that all, for many of these men are gifted and might make great progress in learning, were they not prevented by having to attend to childish trifles of no consequence. Grouchy, very grouchy person. So he brought this thing back, and luckily for us, luckily for all the people in this dining hall, and for me, he ignored it. And he continued with opening another 10 during his life, and there were 4 more in the pipeline. And of course, now there are thousands of them around the world. So we're kind of lucky. We got a good education. I got a good education. But not all of my education was not in the classroom, however. I learned an awful lot in the past 40 years outside the classroom. And I've learned it from the students that I've met during the course of that 40 years. And to the class of 2018, you're included in that. And so I want to tell you what I've learned from you and your predecessors in my life. From you, I've learned courage and perseverance. From you, I've learned optimism and hope. From you, I've learned vulnerability and strength. From you, I've learned grace under pressure. From you, I've learned compassion for someone who is hurting. From you, I've learned to aspire to the best I can do. From you, I've learned patience under a burden. From you, I've learned to forgive and to be forgiven. From you, I've learned to weep for joy, and yes, sometimes for sadness. From all this, I've learned to find God in you. But one thing I can't understand for the most part, and that is your sense of humor. Maybe it's on purpose that you don't let me understand your sense of humor. But I have learned that you are intentionally hilarious. And I want to give you some examples of some dialogues I've had in my office with various students to give you an idea of how it all goes. So I say to this junior, "Congratulations on becoming an Eagle Scout." The junior says, "Thanks." Me, "Have you helped any elderly people cross the street?" Junior, "No, where I live, nobody walks. I live in Hereford." See, they don't have sidewalks there, I guess. Breathe. I'm sorry if I insulted anybody in Hereford. Don't attack me. All right, here's another one. And this was one from one of my Blakefield theological teenage consultants. Junior, "Father Joe?" Me, "Yes." "At church, they ought to start using garlic bread. A lot more people would come." And they should use Kool-Aid instead of wine. All right, here's another one. Freshman, "Father, how was your break? Do anything exciting?" Me, "Nothing that you would find exciting." Freshman, "Mass?" Sophomore needs to miss soccer practice for a dentist appointment. He dutifully emails his coach to tell him that he will not be there at practice. So the email is, and this is the real one, "Coach, I'm sorry I will not be at practice today. I hope it will not cause you any inconvenience." He meant inconvenience, but he didn't know how to spell it. So he went to spell check, and these three possibilities came down. He pressed one, and so it read, "Coach, I'm sorry I will not be at practice today. I hope it will not cause you any incontinence." Do you see what that means? We'll talk later. I don't think we want to talk about it right now. But the student did come to my office the next day, and of course I see him and I begin to laugh. And the student says, "He showed you that email, didn't he?" I said, "Yes, he did." Next one. Father Joe, "Okay, what's on your mind?" "I hope, Father Joe, that you're not planning on withholding candy during Lent this year." I say, "It sounds like a good idea to me." The kid says, "Yeah, sounds great. What is Father Joe giving up for Lent? Making Don's happy." So I said to him, "You guys are so manipulative." Manipulative. And the Don says, "What's that mean?" Just a couple more. So, me at my desk with a junior sitting in the chair next to me doing the New York Times puzzle. Junior says, 70 across. School doesn't fit. Me, what's the clue? A boring way to learn. So I laugh and then I say, how about by rote? It's 4 letters ending in TE. How about piece of candy and says to me, grazie, which is thank you in Italian, and I say, prego, which is you're welcome in Italian. And then the senior says, grazie is the only Italian word I know. Except for some curse words my great-grandmother would use. Actually, I think one of them meant, shut up, stupid. Me, wow, did she say that to you? He says, no, she said it to my dad. So the other kids in my office and I fall over laughing at this. The senior does not break a smile. He didn't see the humor. So they're very intentionally, they are very funny, which makes them even funnier. So, in closing, we have brought back the fight song. Come on, you guys, do the fight. I want you to all do it. But I am challenging the class of 2018, Logan, especially to get your posse together. He's the head of the school student body. And I would like to learn and teach everyone the alma mater. And I'm going to attempt to sing it for you. And I hope that the whole school will be able to sing it eventually. Please pardon my voice. See our men in strong array, see them battle in the fray. Cheer Loyola, triumph's yours today. See that flag of gold and blue, proudly waving over you. Furl it ever, shield it ever, loyal sons and true. Men of Loyola hail, our love we pledge to thee. On through the foeman's line, on to victory. Rah, 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 our banner waves on high. Praise us so true. Men of Loyola hail, our cheer for gold and blue.